If you only watch one RHOA Season 17 video before tonight's premiere, make it this one. Because Phaedra Parks and Porsha Williams are about to relive the betrayal that destroyed their friendship years ago, and most fans have completely missed what the preview clips are telling us about how this plays out. Let me show you what I mean. In the next 12 minutes, you're going to find out exactly what betrayal is being brought back up tonight, why production is forcing Phaedra and Porsha to address it now after all these years, what the body language in the preview reveals about who's really over it and who's still hurt, and how this sets up the biggest conflict of the entire season. If you've been watching RHOA since the Phaedra and Porsha era, or if you're new to the show and want to understand the history, stay until the end, because what happens tonight changes everything for Season 17. Now, if you don't know the backstory, let me catch you up real quick because this goes deep. Phaedra Parks and Porsha Williams were best friends for years on Real Housewives of Atlanta. They were inseparable. They supported each other through divorces, through drama with other housewives, through everything. They were the duo everyone loved. But in Season 9, everything fell apart. Phaedra told Porsha a lie about Kandi Burruss. She said Kandi and her husband Todd wanted to drug Porsha and take advantage of her. That is a serious, disgusting, career-ending accusation. And it wasn't true. Porsha, believing her best friend, repeated that lie to other people. It got back to Kandi, and at the Season 9 reunion, everything exploded. Kandi was furious. Porsha was devastated when she found out Phaedra made it up, and Phaedra was fired from the show because what she did was unforgivable. That betrayal destroyed Phaedra and Porsha's friendship. It ruined Phaedra's relationship with Kandi permanently, and it became one of the most infamous moments in Real Housewives history. For years after that, Phaedra and Porsha didn't speak. Porsha stayed on RHOA and eventually left on her own terms. Phaedra went on to do other shows and rebuild her career. Fans always wondered if they would ever reconcile. Some people said Porsha should never forgive Phaedra. Some people said Phaedra was manipulative and couldn't be trusted. It was messy. It was painful. And everyone assumed it was buried in the past. Until Bravo brought them both back for Season 17. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Spill TV, where we break down all the Bravo drama and give you the context you need before the episodes drop. If you love Real Housewives deep dives, reunion breakdowns, and predictions, make sure you're subscribed. We're covering RHOA Season 17 episode by episode, and tonight is the premiere, so you know we're all in. Let's talk about this Phaedra versus Porsha situation that's about to unfold. All right, so RHOA Season 17 premieres tonight, and based on the preview clips Bravo has been releasing, the Phaedra and Porsha betrayal is front and center. This isn't something that gets mentioned in passing. This is a full storyline, and that's intentional. Bravo knows that bringing these two back together without addressing what happened would feel fake. Fans would call it out immediately. So production is making them face it. But here's the thing. Forcing two people to relive trauma for entertainment is tricky. And based on what we've seen in the previews, this confrontation is going to be uncomfortable in a way that might cross the line from drama into something darker. In one of the preview clips, Phaedra and Porsha are sitting across from each other at what looks like a private lunch or meeting. No other housewives around, just the two of them. And you can feel the tension through the screen. Porsha's body language is closed off, arms crossed, not making full eye contact. Phaedra is trying to smile and be cordial, but you can see the nervousness. And then Porsha says something along the lines of, "I don't know if I can trust you again after what you did." And Phaedra's face drops. That one line tells you everything. This isn't a resolved situation. Porsha is still hurt. She's still angry. And Phaedra knows she messed up, but doesn't know how to fix it. That dynamic is going to play out all season, and it's going to divide the cast and the fan base. But wait, it gets so much worse. Stay with me. In another clip from the previews, there's a group scene where all the housewives are together and someone brings up the past. It's not clear who says it first, but the conversation shifts to Phaedra's lie about Kandi. And Kandi is not on this season as a full-time housewife, but her name gets mentioned, and the energy in the room shifts immediately. Some of the newer housewives who weren't around for that drama look confused. The OGs who remember it look uncomfortable. And Phaedra tries to defend herself by saying something like, "I've apologized, I've moved on. At some point, we have to let the past be the past." But Porsha is not having it. She fires back and says, "You don't get to decide when I'm over it." And that is such a powerful moment because it's true. The person who caused the hurt doesn't get to tell the person who was hurt when to forgive and move on. That's not how healing works. And the fact that Porsha is standing her ground shows growth. The old Porsha might have let it slide to keep the peace. This Porsha is protecting herself and setting boundaries. Now, here's where it gets complicated. There are rumors, and I want to be clear, these are just rumors from online sources, that Phaedra and Porsha did reconcile off-camera before filming started. Some people close to them said they had private conversations. They worked through some things. They agreed to be cordial for the sake of the show. But then production got involved and started pushing them to rehash everything on camera for content. And that's where the resentment came back. If that's true, and again, I can't confirm it, but if it's true, that's really messed up. Because it means Bravo is exploiting a real friendship and real trauma for ratings. And while that's not new for reality TV, it doesn't make it okay. Phaedra and Porsha are both grown women who chose to come back to the show so they knew what they were signing up for. But there's a difference between acknowledging the past and being forced to perform your pain over and over again. Okay, I need you to focus because this part changes everything we thought we knew. There's a specific moment in the trailer that most people aren't talking about, but it's huge. Phaedra is in a confessional, and she's wiping tears from her eyes. And she says, "I lost one of the best friendships I ever had because I made a terrible mistake. And I have to live with that every day." Now, on the surface, that sounds like genuine remorse. But if you really listen to the way she says it, there's something off. It almost sounds rehearsed, like she knew she had to say the right things to get the audience back on her side. And that's the problem with Phaedra. She's so smart and so media trained that it's hard to know when she's being real and when she's playing a role. Porsha, on the other hand, wears her emotions on her sleeve. When she's hurt, you see it. When she's angry, you feel it. That authenticity is why people root for Porsha even when she makes mistakes. But Phaedra's calculated approach makes people question her motives. And that's going to be a major theme this season. The current cast is also going to get involved in this. The new housewives are going to ask questions. They're going to want to understand what happened. And depending on how Phaedra and Porsha explain it, alliances are going to form. Some people are going to side with Porsha and say Phaedra can't be trusted. Some people are going to side with Phaedra and say everyone deserves a second chance. And some people are going to stay neutral and just watch the mess unfold. Kenya Moore, who's returning this season, has her own complicated history with both Phaedra and Porsha. She's been on both sides of their drama at different points, so it's going to be interesting to see where she lands. Does she defend Porsha because of girl code? Does she stay out of it because she doesn't want to get dragged into old mess? Or does she use the situation to her advantage and insert herself into the storyline? Knowing Kenya, it's probably option 3. And I haven't even gotten to the part that broke the internet yet. There's a scene in the trailer where Porsha and Phaedra are at a party and things escalate. Voices are raised. Other people are trying to calm them down. And Porsha says, "You will never understand what you put me through." And then she walks away. That moment went viral on social media. People were commenting saying Porsha deserves her flowers for standing up for herself. People were saying Phaedra needs to stop trying to force forgiveness. And people were debating whether bringing them both back was a good idea or just exploitative. Here's the reality. Bravo brought Phaedra and Porsha back knowing this conflict would be the hook for season 17. They're banking on people tuning in to see if they reconcile or if the friendship is destroyed forever. It's a storyline with built-in stakes, and it's going to carry the first half of the season at minimum. Whether that's fair to Phaedra and Porsha as human beings is a different conversation. But from a business perspective, Bravo made the right call because everyone is talking about it. Now let's talk about how this plays out long-term. There are really only 3 ways this can go. Option 1. Phaedra and Porsha work through their issues over the course of the season, and by the reunion, they're in a better place. Not best friends again, but cordial and respectful. That's the redemption arc Bravo probably wants. Option 2. They try to reconcile, but it doesn't work, and they end the season still hurt and distant. That sets up drama for season 18 if they both return. Option 3. Things get so bad that one of them quits mid-season or refuses to film with the other. That would be messy, but also unprecedented and honestly kind of iconic. My prediction? I think we're headed for option 2. I think Phaedra is going to try really hard to make amends because she knows her reputation depends on it. And I think Porsha is going to want to forgive, but the hurt is too deep. So they'll have moments of progress and moments of regression. And by the reunion, it's going to be unresolved. Which is actually the most realistic outcome, because real friendships that go through betrayal don't heal in one season of television. We are not even at the craziest part yet. Keep watching. Social media reactions to the previews have been intense. Team Porsha is loud and passionate. People are saying she was the victim in the original situation and she doesn't owe Phaedra anything. Team Phaedra is smaller, but they're arguing that everyone makes mistakes and Phaedra has been punished enough. And then there's a third group that's saying both of them are messy and they're just here for the drama, regardless of who's right or wrong. All 3 perspectives are valid, and the debate is healthy because it means people are invested. One thing I will say is that Porsha has handled this comeback with so much grace. She could have gone scorched earth on Phaedra before the season even started. She could have done interviews dragging her. She could have poisoned the well on social media, but she didn't. She's letting the show speak for itself. And that maturity is going to work in her favor with the audience. Phaedra, on the other hand, is being very strategic. She's doing interviews, talking about growth and second chances. She's posting inspirational quotes on Instagram. She's controlling the narrative as much as she can. And while some people appreciate that, others see it as manipulative. It's a tough spot to be in, and honestly, I don't envy her position. Tell me in the comments, are you Team Porsha, Team Phaedra, or Team I just want the drama? I genuinely want to know where everyone stands going into tonight's premiere, because this is the conversation everyone is having. All right, let me wrap this up. Tonight, RHOA Season 17 premieres, and the central storyline is Phaedra Parks versus Porsha Williams, addressing the betrayal that destroyed their friendship years ago. Phaedra lied about Candy, which led to Porsha repeating false information, and ultimately Phaedra getting fired. Now they're both back and forced to confront it on camera. Porsha is still hurt. Phaedra wants forgiveness, and it's going to be uncomfortable, emotional, and messy. This sets the tone for the entire season. Make sure you're subscribed to Spill TV because we're recapping tonight's premiere and every episode after. Hit that like button if you're ready for this season, and drop your predictions in the comments for how you think this Phaedra and Porsha situation ends. This is Spill TV, and RHOA Season 17 starts tonight. Let's go.